And this whole thing with the amount of liquid is a big Regents question thing. So it does not depend on the amount of liquid. I couldn't fit it on there, so I had to kind of squeeze it. But, all right, so which sample of water has the greatest vapor pressure? 100 mil at 20, 200 mil at 25, 40 mil at 35, 20 mil at 30. So what I'm going to do here is I'm basically going to just cross out the amount of water because it does not matter, right? So let's go answer this question without even looking at the amount of water since it doesn't matter. Now, I have 20, 25, 35, 30. What's the only thing that depends on, that affects the vapor pressure? Temperature, right? And we said that the higher the temperature, the higher the vapor pressure, right? So if we're looking for what has the greatest vapor pressure, we're going to look for the greatest temperature, which would be C. Now, I just want to show you something, how they would try to trick you. If you were taking the amount of water into consideration, you may choose 200, right? You're like, oh, that's a lot of water. It must have more vapor pressure. No. Highest temperature is what you're looking for, right? Highest temperature, 35 degrees Celsius. Okay. And I just gave you that explanation. Okay. The boiling point of a liquid is the temperature at which vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure on the surface of the liquid. So we talked about that already. And when the atmospheric pressure is equal to standard pressure, where do we find that? Good old reference table, right? Standard temperature and pressure right there. Okay, and that would be 101.3 kPa or 1 atm. So now we're going to look at the normal boiling points. Normal. What's normal? Normal is when it's equal to 101.3 kPa or 1 atm. So now we'll go back to our table H. And normal boiling point. So they even give you a nice little line here, right? They outline it for you. 101.3 kPa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line down for each one. Okay, so this first one here looks like it's going to be, we'll just say about 55, right? This one would be about 80. This one I know for a fact is 100. These are degrees Celsius. And this one I'm going to say somewhere between 115 and 120, so about like 117, something like that. All right. Propanone, 55. Ethanol, 80. Water, 100. Ethanoic acid, 117. Okay. Let's try number 14. The graph below shows the relationship between vapor pressure and temperature for substance X. What is the normal boiling point for substance X? So you look over here and you're like, 101.3. There's no 101. Oh, you have to look at the units, right? Look at the units they're giving you. Pay attention to that. So if we're talking about atmospheres, 1 is where you would find normal boiling point, right? 1 atmosphere. And then we'll take where the line falls and we'll go 30 degrees Celsius is what our normal boiling point would be for this substance here. Okay, So we want to take a look at comparing the vapor pressure. So if we look here, we show that propanone has the highest, right? Greatest vapor pressure because it has a very low boiling point, right? If you don't have to add that much energy in order for propanone to become a gas, that means it has a high vapor pressure and a low boiling point. On the other hand, ethanoic acid, right, over here is going to have, so this was like 55 degrees Celsius is where it boiled, and at normal boiling point, this was like 117. So that means you're going to have to add a lot more energy in order to turn ethanoic acid into a gas. Okay. And with these questions, it doesn't matter what the temperature is, propanone's going to have the highest. Ethanoic acid is going to have the lowest vapor pressure. But be careful if it's asking you about boiling point, right? Propanone would have the lowest boiling point, ethanoic would have the highest boiling point, so just make sure you're reading the question. So for this one, which liquid has the highest vapor pressure at temperature doesn't matter, right? It always has the highest vapor pressure of all four of them. And like I said, which liquid has the lowest? Ethanoic acid is always going to have the lowest vapor pressure no matter what temperature you're at. Yep, and those are just the answers to those. So there's not really a lot to say about table H, right? You're looking at the normal boiling point, right? And we're going to have high vapor pressure and low vapor pressure. And the higher the vapor pressure, the lower the boiling point. And the lower the vapor pressure, higher the boiling point.